It's been fun to chat with folks who seem to be pretty fired up about the Washington Commanders. They're 5-2. They're getting to 6-2. And let's be honest, if the boys were their normal 2-4, 2-5,
yeah, if they did the normal dance, right?
Probably would not be doing Friday field trip, but they're not. They're in first. They are surging. They've got a chance to remain in first for an extended period of time, and they are on the road toward 6-2. Generally, what we do right now is we predict the lines and play a little over-under with the FanDuel player props. They have player props every single week going into games as to how they see the game playing out. FanDuel has no individual props right now for the Commanders because they don't know if Jaden Daniels is playing or not.
Yeah, they don't know. We don't know. There's, maybe as soon as some market gets made, as soon as something goes up on the board, that'll be an indicator. But I generally think that there's 100% industry-wide uncertainty on what's going to happen.
So I want to hear from some folks that are on site here, in-house. Normally, we take our calls at 800-636-1067, 800-636-1067. For the purposes of being out and about and live, I want to take the temperature of the people. What are your expectations for Sunday if Jaden Daniels plays versus if he doesn't? If he does play, we have reason to believe he'd be slightly, moderately maybe,
hampered
even if
slightly,
a little bit compromised. But if he doesn't play, Marcus Mariota just led the boys to 30 points in 3 quarters against Carolina. Terrible defense. They're leveling up. They're playing a varsity defense. But you at least saw the offense operate without Daniels. So how would your expectations be hindered? So
I just think Chicago is a good defense. And that means it's not easy. Right now, that doesn't mean you can't move the football. It doesn't mean you can't score points against them. They're good enough on defense to beat up bad teams. Right, we've certainly seen that. They're good enough on defense to beat up teams that are okay as well, in my opinion. So this will be a great test for Washington's offense, certainly. Right, there might be more negative. You might have to, I don't want to say you call things more conservatively, but they might take away certain things. Like, are you sure that you want to do a straight? I'm just making this up. A straight 7-step drop, pat the football, see a double move happen, and try to sling it deep against Chicago? How comfortable would you feel for the pass rush, or with the pass rush bearing down on you with this offensive line? I have no idea. You sort of have to read that kind of level of influence over, what the Bears might be able to do to you. But, part of this, the other part is they've been able to stop the run pretty well. Have they been able to stop the best running game, or the second best running game in the NFL? They haven't played Baltimore. They could, we don't know if they could stop them. Can they stop Brian Robinson with a fake to Austin Eckler or the potential of Jaden Daniels keeping it? That's all kind of involved in this recipe here. So to me, I just don't think it's going to be one of those, holy crap, they scored 40 and never punted. I just don't see that.
Along the lines of what you're talking about, when Mariota played against Washington back with his last team, Atlanta, they were still a pain to play. They were hard to defend.
They're not fun.
And the reason was because of him rushing the football. And it's the same as like Justin Fields with the Steelers. There's not much of a threat of him making a whole lot of plays through the air. But I think you'd still have that. Because of the 11 runs they put on film, maybe by design, we kept wondering, why are they running so much with Marcus Mariota? Well, this is part of the reason why. All right, we are on site at Uptown Alley in Manassas. We've got Clary working the crowd mic here, so we will bring up some listeners to give us some thoughts. Start by telling us your name, where you're from.
Marcus from Triangle.
Marcus and Triangle, ladies and gentlemen.
Marcus and Triangle.
Making it out to the Grand Canyon Radio program. Wearing Commanders gear, Danny.
Yeah.
No less.
But Marcus is very nice.
Where are you at on the Commanders name, logo? You're all in?
No. I love the old name.
Okay.
I love the old logo. I love the old uniforms. But, I'm a fan of the team.
Of course.
And we're the Commanders now. So
yes, you are.
I'm all in.
So I love that. We're stuck with it. Let me get a shirt.
Yeah. You're more like me than Danny. Danny won't say the name and hates it. You're like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, what are you supposed to do?
I'm a few steps below Danny. I'll say the name.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but I'll say it. I'll wear the gear, but I'm a step below Danny.
Got it. All right, so with that in mind, this game this weekend on Sunday, with Jaden Daniels as opposed to without him, how different are your expectations?
None. I expect us to win. Now, I hope Jaden plays, of course, but I would much rather him, if he's not 100%, rest him this week next week, even another week if we have to. Because this is not about just winning this game or next game. This is about the whole season, next season, 5-10 years down the road. This guy is the real deal. I think we have a good shot to win this game, whether he plays or not. But if he's not ready, sit him out.
If I would have found you in August, though, can you imagine?
You imagine saying that in August?
Hey, they're going to be 5-2, and you might be confident they're going to get to 6-2 with or without him. That's how good they play.
That's how good I am now. But I'll tell you this much right now. If I knew nothing about last week's game except Daniels got hurt in the first quarter and then the final score, I would have thought, oh, no. Oh,
Right.
no. We're back to
Let
but
down.
That's not the case. It was a great game. The team played great. The coaching's great. I like what we're doing.
All right.
I feel very confident.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Very
love
good.
it.
So confidence out in Manassas. Now, this is a fire shirt right here. This is a Hawaiian old school straight up Redskin shirt. But I've never seen that Hawaiian design. And
It's got every logo ever.
It also says Washington Commanders on it. So it's got the R. Oh, you're right. It's got every emblem ever. All right.
Yeah, baby.
So what is that shirt?
This is a dedication to the generations of Redskins, Commanders, the football team fans.
Love it from day one. How are you with the rebrand and the new name?
Say again?
Where are you at with the rebrand and the new name? Have you taken well to it? Do you like it? Have you come around on Commanders?
No, I live in the 80s, the 90s, where every year you're expected to make the playoffs. Every year you expect to have a winning record. I'm still stuck there.
Okay, Joe Gibbs 1.0 is still his head.
Relatable.
Yeah, 1.0.
See, they don't know what it's like when you lost to go, it's fine.
Absolutely.
They go, it's fine. We'll be back. And we were. They don't understand.
Yeah.
They'll never get it.
Next year, there's always next year. And at the end of the season, the Redskins were battling for the division.
Every time.
Every single year.
Yeah, so here's what I know as a guy who's in his mid-30s. My first memories are 2 years after their last Super Bowl, probably 3 years after. They've never done anything meaningful. My favorite team of all time for this organization is the 99 Redskins that almost got to the NFC Championship game.
Right.
Like, it's just such a different world. But that's an amazing shirt. So what's your name? Where are you from?
Tone, I'm from Bristow.
All right, Tone. So what are you thinking about this weekend with or without Daniels?
So I'm thinking it depends on which Mariota shows up. Is it going to be the streaky Mariota that we've seen that's been moving from team to team, or the one that showed up this last Sunday?
You think that there might be some sustainability to how he played in this offense?
In this offense, yes.
Wow.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the play calling that's going on right now.
Yeah.
We're not making it too difficult for him. A lot of dump off plays, being able to move the ball quickly. That's definitely Mariota's type of football.
Who's your favorite player on the team, non-quarterbacks? So
Not a
current
quarterback.
players, who's your favorite guy?
Luvu.
Frankie. Frankie's a fan favorite.
Frankie's a fan favorite.
All right, very good. Good prediction.
Thank you,
We
Tom.
like it. Thank you. All right, we got ourselves a Commanders Terry McLaurin. Now, this looks like the military grade kind of tan jersey. I like that look.
You like it?
I do. Name and where you're from?
Chris, and I'm from Manassas. Been here for about 5 years.
Very, very cool. That's why we came
We're
out
in Manassas.
to meet our
I'll
listeners at
shout
Uptown
out.
Alley.
Yeah.
That's right. Have you been here before?
Yes, been
This
in
is
Uptown
cool.
Alley. Yep, great
Right.
place. Got to go by and check it out.
Vibes are good. All right, so what is your prediction for this weekend?
Honestly, I think it's going to be the same play calling. So I'm kind of expecting the same thing. Like if you remember last week when Mariota went in, his first play was a running play. So it's like kind of expecting the same play calling, expecting the same thing.
Do you think Jaden's out, it sounds like? You don't expect him to play?
I honestly, I want him to play, just from a fan thing. I think the NFL also wants him to play, because number 2 versus number 1.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think he is going to play.
So how does that change things? Like, does it lower your expectation then?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't change things, man. I think we still can come out with a W.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you
Love
for
it.
coming out.
Thank you, bro.
I will say this. Last week in Leesburg, we had a segment right at the end of the show where we took a bunch of predictions, and we'll do the same today. And maybe it was because it was at the end of the show, close to 7 o'clock.
Adult sodas consumed.
People had been drinking all day long, but everyone was predicting ridiculous scores, and we will get to this later. But it was like 34-10, 40-13, 37-20. And we're kind of going, people are way too
Pump the
confident.
brakes here, guys.
Yes, they're going to beat Carolina, but you guys are ridiculous. Nobody called it to the lopsided extent that it was, 40-7.
Yeah.
All of the lofty expectations
And it easily could have been worse. Easily.
were surpassed. Met and then surpassed. Absolutely amazing what this team's been doing offensively. And I thought last week was Kliff Kingsbury's moment because for all of the Jaden Daniels is carrying him in the line and everybody, the running backs, the receivers. Now Daniels is out for 3 quarters. They could have easily sputtered to a 23-13 win. They just kept moving the football. Tress Way still was just holding. He punted once all day. I thought that was the biggest moment for Kingsbury of this season to do what he did without Jaden Daniels.
Again, we talk about this all the time, right? But it's validating. When you have a previous sample, then you go, yeah, but. When you take away the but, so to speak, and you still are excellent, you go, okay, that actually means what we saw was real, right? You move the ball against Arizona. Okay, fine. You scored a bunch of points. So what? We did against Cleveland, good defense. Okay, well, then you do it without Jaden Daniels. So it tells you that there's something going on here besides the Miracle Man.